So what we're going to be looking at today is something new called Simpson's rule. Now Simpson's rule is used to estimate the area of a shape with an irregular boundary such as a lake. So what we've been looking at so far is just our regular shapes which will appear on our formula sheet. And now we're going to have some kind of shape which has an irregular boundary. So it's going to have some straight sides. So I imagine it like a field that's got some straight fences, and then its other boundary might be a lake or a river or something along those lines. Okay, so the formula that you get is on your formula sheet and it's called Simpson's rule. And here's the formula here. The area is equal to approximately, and can you put the approximate signs in there? H on 3 df plus 4dm plus dl. Now, looks very confusing, but it's really not. A is the area of the shape. H is the height or the width of the equal parts. So what we have is we have our field, we divide it into equal parts. And this height here is how we divide it equally. So say this was 20 centimetres, we might divide it into 10 centimetre parts, or 10 metre parts, wouldn't really be centimetres. And df is the distance of the boundary of the first boundary. dm is the distance of the middle boundary, M for middle, and dl is the distance of the last boundary. So what I like to think about in terms of words. The area is approximately equal to the width of the strip divided by 3, the first measurement, plus 4 times the middle measurement, plus the last measurement. Let's have a look at how we go about using this in actual practice. Here's an example. A lake forms a boundary for a block of land as shown. Apply Simpson's rule to approximate the area of the block. Answer correct to the nearest square metre. So we write down our formula. We go to our formula sheet and we write it down. That the area is approximately equal to H on 3, and it's the distance of the first plus 4 times the distance of the middle plus the distance of the last. And then we go and put some numbers in. So if we have a look here, this is my middle distance, this is my first distance, and this is my last distance. And this height, the height is the measurement of each individual part. Now this says the whole thing is 36, so we have to divide 36 by 2 to find out what this is. So this must be 18 metres. So my height parts must be 18 metres. And that's my distance of the first, distance of the middle, and distance last. So now it's just a case of placing those numbers into a formula. 18 over 3. The first distance is 20. It's 4 times the middle distance. And then we've got our last distance. And we pick up our calculators and we work it out. And to get it to the nearest square metre, I think it's something like 804 metres squared. Nice and simple. Let's have a look at another one. A surveyor took 5 vertical measurements across a pond, as shown below. Used 2 applications of Simpson's rule to find the approximate area of the pond. So, what we have here is we need 2 approximations, and it tells you to do these 2 approximations, which means we're going to use Simpson's rule twice. So I don't know whether you can see it. Can you see if I draw down here? This area in here will be my first use of Simpson's rule. And the area on the other side here is going to be my second use of Simpson's rule. Now here along the bottom, it tells me the whole thing is 20, but remember we need to divide it into equal parts. So each boundary here is really just 5 metres. So all of these are 5 metres. 5 metres and 5 metres. So now all it leaves us to do is to be able to find out what this is going to be. So if I go back to my orange pen colour, if I call this area 1, let's find out area 1. So area 1 is approximately equal to height over 3, and it's the first distance, 4 times the middle distance, and add on my last distance, and we pick up our calculators and we get an answer. And then we do area 2, and I think it's something like 120 meters squared. For area 2, well, the height's still the same, and I should probably go to purple pen so you can see. 5/3. And here now, this one is the first, so that's 12. 4 times the middle is 18. And then I've got my last, which is 8. And then you work that one out, and unfortunately I think I've forgotten to work it out, so hopefully you can tell me what it is. So then we just do our total area, and the total area is we add everything up, and I think what you get is 280 meters squared. So that's Simpson's rule. There is one tricky one in your textbook. Hopefully you will find it, and if you have any questions about it, I want you to come and see me and get some help. I hope this makes Simpson's rule make sense to you. If not, you know where to find me.